So today we have an excellent speaker, Dr. Obey. Okay, he is the founder of the AI Coding for All. So without wasting more time, I would like to invite Dr. Obey, okay, to present his knowledge about big data applications. The floor is yours now, Doctor.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Doctor. Hi, and good morning to everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for inviting me for this webinar. I'm really glad to be here. Good morning to the audience. Good morning to everyone on the live Facebook. So today we are going to talk about the big data applications and use cases. So I'm going to talk about the whatever is related to this field. At the same time, what are the job opportunities? And then we are going to talk about the applications and the involvement of big data in our daily life, in our industries, and in the fields that normally we are either study or work in. So this is a presentation going to be about the meaning of big data, data science, data scientists, and why they are related to big data, and what is the data science methodology, what are the steps that normally people working in the field of data science, they have to follow to complete a project or to work on a project or to work on the data. And then after that, as long as we are talking about the methodology and what people do normally in this field, so we are going to talk also about the requirements, what people they need to learn, what people they need to master, and to have the skills to work in this field. Then we are going to move, which is considered as like the second part of this presentation, which is talking about the applications of big data, the involvement of big data in our daily life. And then we are going to have a comparison between the IR, Industrial Revolution 4, and Industrial Revolution 5, because big data, AI, data science, all related to those Industrial Revolution. And as long as now we are moving from IR 4.0 to IR 5.0. Then we're going to share some scope and demand, and then we will see like how, like if there's any collaboration in the future to work on this field. So just a quick introduction about myself. My name is Mohammed Al-Ubaidi. Everyone call me Ubaid to shortage my name because so many Mohammed here in Malaysia. I have a bachelor in electrical and electronic engineering, and I have a master in computer science, and then I have a PhD in artificial intelligence. As Doctor mentioned, I am a founder of this company, AI, Artificial Intelligence and Coding for All. This company is an education company. I started it in 2018. We are focusing on delivering artificial intelligence and coding to preschool, secondary school, primary school, secondary school, and even the adults. And now we are moving to provide also consultancy and services. I'm also the founder of this company. I started it in 2016, which is the Innovative Eye. We are focusing on digital marketing and multimedia, and now we are working on a new project, which is to combine immersive technology with the artificial intelligence to build the best campaign on the social media. I'm a certified trainer by the HRD Corp, and then I'm also running these two courses, professional course in data science and analytics, and the professional course in applied artificial intelligence engineering. And these courses to help people to find a job in the field of big data, data science, and artificial intelligence. This is my LinkedIn. If you are interested, if you have anything you want to share with me, if you have any question, if you want to check my updates, then please connect on LinkedIn. All right. So to start with the big data, what is the meaning of the big data? If you read in the books that related to big data, if you read in the books that related to artificial intelligence, even if you go to blogs and the vlogs, you're not going to have a definite definition about the big data. Big data or the current data that we have, it is all the data that generated from our devices, generated by us as individuals, or can be generated from other devices, or can be generated at work, or from companies, or even from the government. So what makes big data is a big data, or what makes the data considered as a big data then to deal with? So looking at whatever available or whatever sources, either books or blogs or vlogs or even courses that they teach in the field of big data, always they say big data is the data that comes with the V's of the big data. So what are the V's of the big data? We can look at these V's, 5 V's: velocity, volume, variety, veracity, and value. Or can be those 4 V's, or can be those 6 V's, or can be the 10 V's. So it's like each book, each like one that in this field can interpret big data into different V's. I think the most common V's is considered as the velocity, which is the speed that data accumulated. Now data accumulated in a very high speed. We have bunch of data every day we archive in our devices, in our pads, in our personal laptop or desktop. Volume, it is about the size that data accumulated. All right. Then variety, it is about the variety in terms of the structured and unstructured data, and in terms also of the formats. So if you look at your device, if you look at only our device, you will see that we have videos, photos, PDFs, Microsoft Word, and many other formats. So what is those V's about? Is the way that we are talking about those V's because we cannot handle the data currently. We have a huge amount of data accumulated in a very short time. We have the scale of the data is big, the format of the data is big, and when we talk about the structured and unstructured data, so the structured data is the data that comes into rows and columns. But the unstructured data, the data is considered as a messy data. We need to find a way to structure the data, then we can work on the data. Then we have the veracity, as mentioned here, veracity, which is considered as the quality of the data. So that's why there's another term now also come together with the big data, which is the good data. So not all the big data that we have is considered as quality data to be used to solve a problem or to get insights or to do whatever we want to do with the data. Most of the data is like, definitely there's a percentage of the data is not considered as a quality data. All right, so we need to look at the good data. So that data we can use it to build any model, predictive model, descriptive model, make automated things, make a decision. All right, and then the value. The value is about how to turn data into value, or how to get a value from the data. Value could be money, or value can be services, can be things to improve the infrastructure of the country. We can use it to have a better education system. We can use it to have a better healthcare system, and so on. So what makes data big data when we have those V's in the big data? So this is what have been written if you read in books and blogs. My personal understanding about the big data and being in this field for more than 5 to 6 years, if you ask me personally, I would say big data is considered as the data that we cannot handle it by the Excel sheet. We used to handle data, we used to archive data, we used to manage data, we used to get some insights, simple insights from the data by the Excel sheet. But now the amount of the data, we cannot handle it by Excel sheet. So if you cannot handle the data by the Excel sheet, so that data is considered as a big data. Or the task that you want to work on the data that you have, to achieve that task, you cannot achieve it by the Excel sheet, then that data we are going to consider it as the big data. And definitely with those V's, but at the end of the day, I believe all of those V's, once you have them in the data that you are working on, so it means you cannot handle that data by the Excel sheet, or you cannot achieve the task that you want to achieve it by the Excel sheet. All right. So as long as we are talking about the data then and the big data, then definitely there is a field, and that field which is to work on the data, and that field we call it data science. And data science also is another field that it is quite, the definition of this field is quite vary from one to another, from one book to another. But in general, we consider data science, it is the study of data. It is the process that we do on data, and that process will help us to uncover insights, and those insights are going to help us to make recommendations, to have new findings, and to solve the problem that we are having from the data. All right, and we have people that they are working in this field, and those people, the field of data science, and those people we call them data scientists. When we talk about data scientists also, you will see like some people, they say data scientists, those who are professional in coding or professional in math, or they are statisticians, or they are software developer, while currently, because every field generating data, every industry generating data, so we need data scientists in every field, we need data scientists in every industry. So data scientists, we can describe that person, or we can describe the term or define the term of data scientist as someone who can extract insights from MSC data. So everyone, we said everyone can be data scientists, everyone can master the skills to be data scientists, because currently we have a lot of tools, we have a lot of third-party libraries going to help us to be data scientists in our field. And we are going to talk about this shortly. So as long as we are talking about data scientists, so normally what data scientists do, or what data scientists build, or what is the daily routine of data scientists? So data scientists, in simple, they build normally three kind of models. The first model, it is the predictive model. So this model going to predict data, going to make a decision, going to predict things might happen shortly or might happen in the future. And we have a lot of applications based on the building a predictive model. We are going to discuss some of them soon. Then the second model that normally data scientists build is the descriptive model. So the descriptive model going to work on the data, that the data is quite unknown in terms of the label or the description or the title. So we are going to archive them in a way to cluster them or to group them into groups based on the similarity of the features of that data. And then the recommender model or the recommender system, and these are what we are now practicing, and we are now like going through all of those models when we go to any e-commerce site and when you go to any service provider site. You can see once you search for something, then related items to the thing that you search will be recommended to you. Once you buy an item or you watch a movie like Netflix or YouTube, you will see like a lot of like related content will be recommended to you, and this is based on the recommender system or the recommender model. Recommender model can be like a model that built based on a predictive model and descriptive model and some data analysis, of course. All right, so as long as we are talking about those models, so in general, what are the methods normally data scientists follow, or people into data science, or people that they are working, and definitely data science is considered as a field under big data. Methodology is quite vary also from, I would say, from one company to another, but in general, I believe the one that was developed by IBM, which is this one, I think these are the more into detail steps working on a project. So it's going to start by the business understanding. So business understanding, it is about to clarify the problem and to look at the problem in detail and to know what is the problem of the data, then to find the right solution. So based on the understanding of the problem, we are going to move to the analytic approach. Then analytic approach is going to be, okay, which machine learning algorithm we are going to use to solve that problem. All right, and then we are going to talk about the machine learning soon. And then from analytic approach, we are going to move to data requirements and data collection. Data requirements, it is about the data that are required to solve that problem. And when we talk about data requirements, it means the features. Definitely, when we talk about data, it means the data set, it means the rows and columns. So we are going to require the features, and those features, they are going to help us to solve that problem. And when we talk about features, means we talk about columns. Columns in any data set is considered as the features, or sometimes they call it the attributes. Then moving to data collection. Data collection, it is about to check the required data, whether it is available or not. Just one hint about the data requirement and data collection. Normally, we don't spend that much, or we don't spend that much of efforts when it comes to data requirement and data collection. Why? Because now most of the companies, most of the industries, many of the fields that we are study, they have the data. The data is available. So we just need to move on and start working on the data, start getting insights from the data. And those insights definitely going to help us to improve things and to make recommendations, or at least to solve the problem. Then data understanding. Data understanding, when we are going to start using the computer programming language to work on the data set, to look at the data set, to look at the features, to understand what are those features about, and also to find the issues of that data. Any data set definitely coming with the issue, then we need to solve those issues. Then that data, we call it now the data is cleaned, or the data is prepared, well prepared to be used during the modeling, which is the machine learning, which is the next step. So from data understanding to data preparation is the most interesting part, I believe, of this methodology, because we are going to do all the data analysis steps. When we talk about data analysis steps, means we talk about the data wrangling or data cleaning or data manipulation, sometimes they call it in books. And those steps, we are going to change a lot of values in the data set. We are going to convert values. We are going to work with the numbers. We are going to work with not only the numbers, we are going to work also with the categorical values. We are going to find the missing values and try to find a solution for the missing values. We are going to normalize values. Then many other processes we go through to prepare the data set to be used later on. And then the second part of the data preparation, which is the exploratory data analysis, it is about, or we call it the EDA, sorry, it is about finding insights from the data set. So those insights is about finding the relationship among the columns. A relationship means finding the relationship among the features of the data set, and which feature is correlated to other feature, or which features can be used to build a predictive model, and so on. Then, as long as the data is prepared, then we move to the modeling, to this stage. Then this stage, we are going to apply all the machine learning, deep learning algorithms on the data, and to start to build those models that we mentioned just now. And then definitely, as long as we are going to get results, then we need to evaluate the results, and we have methods to evaluate those results. And if the results are accepted, then we can move to deployment. Then we can deploy the model to be used for the new coming data. And then as long as the model now working on the new coming data, then definitely we are going to get the feedback. And based on the feedback, we can improve those steps